Why are so many people obese? We'll take a look at that in this edition of Hippie versus Jock. Somehow, some way, I think everyone thinks it's normal for what we see walking around as far as people in the obesity nowadays. I know it's supposed to be a war on obesity and all these other things going on, but the fact of the matter is, when I was young, there were a lot less people that were obese. In fact, there was one in elementary school and this same guy in middle school. And somehow, some way, I think that's been forgotten or not known by the younger people. We weren't always walking around looking at this. Having a six-pack or a shortcut for six-pack, it didn't exist, because the majority of the guys had a something pack, a two-pack, a four-pack, a six-pack. And the only way they didn't have it was what we knew back then as a beer belly. And even those guys, it was just their stomach. Everything else was within reason. So, what's making Americans fat? There are chemicals upon chemicals being introduced to your body on a regular basis. I've gone over some of them. One of them is BPA. And there are various things like BPA that affect hormones. Fracking, for example, affects hormones. But the word you're searching for is endocrine disrupting chemicals. In other words, they screw with your hormones. So, something to take a look into, something I'll be going over slowly. I'm not sure if by the time I get this up, I'll have my other videos up on some things on why people are fat and some things like BPA and various issues that we have as far as chemicals being introduced to our body. BPA, I personally think, is one of those weird ones because it actually goes as far as calling it a gender bender. And I find that interesting that when this chemical is introduced to fish, the fish no longer want to mate with the opposite sex fish. And we see that actually happening with people, where men no longer want to mate with women, and probably a little bit on the opposite way with women not wanting to mate with other men. So I see that happening, and all of a sudden these chemicals just happen to be there. Find it interesting. I actually have found an article that's interesting reading where it talks about endocrine disrupting chemicals and how it's actually screwing with our bodies. And I find it interesting that when you say detox to people, they think it's some sort of joke, but it's not. Maybe this article will at least make you think a little bit. So I'll put the link in the description for it, and hopefully you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching.